got me at the end right there. Hey. Oh, man. Oh, welcome to Any Last Words. I am your host, Joe. And tonight, my guest is host of Chronic Horror, Josh Millican. Thank you, Josh,
Yes,
for joining
hello.
me tonight. I'm just going to kind of play it easy for a second and wait for people just to come on in because we just started. But yeah, how's everything going where you're at right now? I know everything's starting to slowly open up.
Yeah, still kind of in a holding pattern. In addition to hosting Chronic Horror, my day job's pretty cool too. I'm the editor-in-chief at Dread Central. So I'm immersed in horror all the time. And, I still get to do this daily news. So work-wise, I've been able to basically go this entire quarantine without any major disruption. Just churning out the same amount of news. I have to look a little deeper for stories sometimes now that, the entire industry is at a halt.
Mm-hmm.
But, I've been doing all right in that sense. But I got to tell you, now that we're creeping up on month 3, it has kind of been weighing on me a little bit. And while I'm so lucky that work has been steady through this, one of the things that was so awesome about my job was going to conventions and film festivals and set visits and things like that. And, they can be tiring because you're on a very quick schedule, you don't have a lot of time to sit and think or sleep. But those are the things that kind of like, charged me up and, gave me a chance to.
Uh-oh. You still there, Josh? Can
Hey.
anyone see me or hear me? Uh-oh.
Oh, no, you're gone. No, we're both here.
Uh-oh. Okay. Okay. What is it? My end or your end? I don't know what's
Hey,
happening.
you know
You
what I'm going
froze.
to do? I'm going to close out like every computer tab I've got open that isn't you. Just to be sure that I don't have any internet hogs going on here, keeping us from having the most bandwidth possible. All right. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. But yeah, like I was just saying, all in all, I'm doing really good. How are you doing?
Staying as busy as possible.
Yeah.
Because like you said, like going to things and, meeting people and all this, it gave you like a jolt, a purpose to go get up and do things every day. Right. And now it's kind of like, it's like being in jail, but all my shit's here.
Right. It's funny you mentioned being in jail because I got to interview Tommy Chong recently, and he said that his time in prison actually prepared him very well for, self-quarantine.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. But, he said self-quarantine is better than jail, obviously.
Yeah. We got some viewers saying hello already. Richard and Joe. Hey, guys, how you doing? Thanks for joining us.
Hello.
What are you smoking tonight, sir?
This is a little bit of local Northern California farm fresh from some friends. I don't know the strain, but I do smoke some dispensary stuff as well. What about you? What are you smoking?
Well, I just took the pre-rolls that they had. I don't feel like packing a pipe over and over again during the show, so I just grabbed a couple pre-rolls tonight. It's basically, I call them Jeffries. Have you ever seen that movie, Get Him to the Greek?
No. Oh, I have. Yeah. Okay.
Where he takes him to that party, and he's trying to keep Russell Brand from doing all these drugs so he can keep him, like, legit and shit before he gets to the show. And he gets handed, like, this big-ass joint, and he's like, what's this? He goes, oh, it's a Jeffrey. And he smokes it, and he starts feeling funny, and he goes, he starts freaking out, and he goes, why do you call it a Jeffrey? He goes, because nobody's scared of a Jeffrey, but it's got like a little bit of everything in it, basically.
There you go. Yeah, I'm a fan of the pre-rolls too, and smoking joints is definitely my favorite way to imbibe. What's your favorite way to imbibe?
I like bongs, but I like super clean, fresh fresh water, and then I like to put ice all in the bong because I like that cold burst. Did I freeze again?
Yeah, you did. And you know what? I turned off the TV too. So it's like, come on, bandwidth, just hang in there. You know, it's prime time. We got the whole world fighting for this bandwidth right now.
Shit, son of a bitch. Don't people have jobs?
I know, right?
It's like the world's on lockdown or something. God.
Seriously. Hey, do you like how I've been hijacking your interview and asking you a question every time you ask me a question?
No, it's cool. I like it because I've noticed that with other people that I've had on that are also hosts do the same thing, and I like it. So I don't feel so stuck to have to keep the conversation going. So.
I don't think there's going to be any problem with that. Hey, why don't you tell the viewers about the first time we met, since I don't really remember. There's been a lot of joints between then and now.
Yeah. Sorry. No, we actually met at the Shock Fest Film Festival in Vegas. Vegas. Last November at the Artesian Hotel, which was a badass, trippy hotel to be in. I love the bar. It reminded me of The Shining.
Yeah, the whole place was awesome. I really enjoyed that festival, and it'd be awesome if, you know, they can pull it off again this year. I don't know, with the virus, the pandemic.
We'll see. And maybe we'll all have to wear like hula hoops or something so we don't
I know, right? I mean, you know, part of it's crazy because, you know, we don't even, it's hard to even picture what the future is going to be like, you know, like it's like, oh, okay, conventions are going to start up again in October, but what's that even going to look like now, you know?
Because they're already saying everything's like, it's getting so much worse now since they started opening, and they've already been preconditioning us for this second wave that's supposed to come in August or October or some shit like that back in the fall.
Yeah, I mean, it's nuts because I mean, I was before the pandemic and the lockdown, I was approached to be a jury member for Grimfest in Manchester, and I was so excited to go out there, and now it's like, no, probably not going to any international film festivals in 2020.
Some bullshit.
I know. I mean, I just want to do some local conventions or something. I just want to like get in the car for a few hours and spend a few days somewhere else. But I tell you, you know, I've been taking the quarantine pretty seriously. You got to, you know, if you don't take it seriously, then it's just going to be a prolonged pain in the ass.
I think it's still going to be a prolonged pain in the ass.
Yeah, are we supposed to talk about the horror industry or something? What do you talk about with your normal guests?
Yeah, this and that. Usually not weed, but except for, are you smoking weed? Maybe.
I felt that was kind of a given when, you know, you reached out.
Absolutely, because we did. That was before I went off on my tangent.
Oh yeah. Finish your story.
Sorry, when we first met, I'm that person that even though it is very much becoming more and more acceptable in society and culture, I'm still like, oh no, you're gonna get in trouble. Like, you know, if you get caught or people are gonna give you stink eye. So I was trying to find a fucking place to go smoke my joint, and I went out the front. Jeffrey. Yeah, my Joffrey. And I went out the door and I smelled weed, and I looked over and homeboy sitting on the bench over there, and I was like, oh, safe place. And I was like, do you mind if I sit here and smoke too? And you're like, yeah, it's cool. And I was like, sweet. And we just started talking and passing joints back and forth.
I was surprised that, I mean, not that I researched it, you know, being here in my California bubble, but I was surprised that marijuana was legal in Vegas. Because when I was there, like, I don't know, a dozen years ago, I remember everyone was like, hide your stuff. Because they were like, even if it's just weed, they'll charge you like it's cocaine or heroin. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, and then I got there and it's like, oh, there are all these 24-hour dispensaries and, you know, smoke lounges. That's part of the reason Shock Fest was such a blast, man. Did you check out any of the dispensaries around there?
No, I did not get a chance to get to any of them. I brought my own because I was just like, I'm always prepared. So
I brought my own too, because I had flown out of Oakland,
mm.
and I mean, I think that, technically any airport can have its own policy, but it was kind of like, okay, it's not illegal to have a gram or less than an ounce of weed on me, so I'm just going to fly out with it, and it's worked so far. It's really liberating to just like have some weed in my backpack and just go right through TSA and not have to worry about it. It's awesome. It's like a golden age.
Yeah, when I was went to Texas for a convention, I know that they only allow CBD from what I was told, at least in the area I was at. And I took my own, but everybody's like, dude, you need to like stash it in your luggage and you need to put like a bottle of perfume and some other stuff around it that are smellies. And we started going through the little TSA thing and we started going this little roundabout and there's a dog running back and forth. I'm like, oh, fuck, oh,
Well,
fuck, oh,
Texas
fuck.
is still different. And, I went to South by Southwest in 2018. Yeah, 2018. And I have some Austin friends who hooked me up. And so, I didn't fly with it. I probably could have, but I didn't at the time, the 2018. I don't know why. So I didn't fly with it, but some friends in Austin hooked me up. So then in between some shows, I just pull out my pipe, walking down the street and I start smoking, and all my friends were like, what are you doing? This is Texas. And, especially in Austin, I mean, it feels like California. So I was just like, I don't know what I'm doing. And plus it was South by Southwest and you had, the streets just swarming with people like it's Mardi Gras. But yeah, I mean, I forget that, it's not like California in the whole world.
Oh man, yeah, no, because when I was there, like I said, I guess CBDs are like the acceptable weed there, the okay weed, because people would be like, "Oh, you want to go smoke? You want to go smoke?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, cool." I'm like, "What you got?" And they're like, "Oh, it's this bomb ass CBD," and I'm like, "Oh, okay,
Do you,
okay."
do you like the CBD? I mean, does it do anything for you?
Honestly, I that's one of the reasons why I started smoking weed. It's a little deep, maybe a little personal, but it's the truth. Because
Does
there's always a
THCs
stigma.
led you to THCs?
No, THC led me to CBDs because
Oh, okay.
yeah, because I was very, very, very ill in and out of the hospital. Had to have a whole lot of surgeries, and I'm allergic to antibiotics
Oh,
and a
wow.
lot of narcotics. So I can't take Norco. I can't take morphine. Makes me sick. Demerol makes me sick. Everything makes me sick,
But
violently sick.
CBD helped with the pain, yeah?
Yeah, because
That's really interesting because I was going to say, like, I've taken those gummies and they don't get me high, but I got tattooed after eating a couple of those gummies and I really felt no pain. It was really
really,
interesting.
yeah, it's a trip. And it's like because I've never really done like a CBD edible of any kind. I've usually just smoked it.
Hmm.
Um, and it's weird because like when you're smoking, like and when to stop because you feel that change. But with
Hmm.
CBD, you don't get that little click. It's like it's almost all of a sudden like you just took a bunch of really good ibuprofen and like everything's good now. Like you don't
Right,
get that
right.
head change or that weird trip that you start feeling from the other weed.
Have you
So
ever taken too much CBD because of that? I mean, what
uh,
would happen if you took too much CBD?
I don't think I've ever taken too much CBD. I've had too much THC.
Well, yeah, geez.
Yeah, I used to own an edibles company here in California for like
Oh,
6 years.
fantastic.
And
Wow.
although I don't really care for a lot of edibles, except for like the savory, I don't like sweet edibles. I don't really care for the way they taste. I like the savory ones. And I used to do like pork rinds and hot Cheetos and all kinds of stuff. And the pork rinds are my favorite. I love pork rinds, medicated or not. And I was actually
Wow.
in culinary school at the time. And I was sitting there trying to do my homework and I'm like munching on these edibles, these pork rinds. And my boyfriend walks by and he like kind of eyeballs me and I'm like, what? And he goes, do you realize how many you just ate? And I was like, I totally wasn't even paying attention. And I looked down at my homework and everything's kind of fuzzy. And I was like, oh, I think I should stop eating these. And I totally got the spins. I couldn't sleep. I was sweating. I was like, oh no, this is like being drunk, but not drunk.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing with edibles is it's so different than smoking. And when you smoke, you can't get too stoned too fast when you're smoking because you're taking it up a step at a time, one step up the ladder, one
Yep.
step up the ladder. But with the edibles, oh man, And
Oh my.
also, like, when you cross a threshold, it's like, it's not like if you eat twice as much, you're twice as high. If you eat twice as much, you get exponentially higher. You go into a whole other little hole. I like to warn people, on my show, Chronic Horror, we smoke weed, and then we did this one episode where we went out in the woods and we did edibles. And I gotta tell you, it was a
That was
little
funny.
nerve-wracking.
That was hilarious.
You
I
watched
love
that
that.
episode?
Oh yeah, I've seen a bunch of their shows.
Awesome. Thank you.
No.
Yeah. I mean, I honestly wondered a few times during that show. I was like, man, they're actually going to catch me freaking out, being too high. This is going to turn into like a anti-edibles PSA. It's like,
Oh
man,
no.
I got to keep it together. Got to keep it together.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm going to put this at the bottom so that people who have joined us can catch up without me having to keep repeating myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry that I'm starting to get a little unstoned, so I'm remembering shit that I shouldn't be
No,
doing.
that's fine. That's fine. I mean, yeah,
Um,
I'm sure when this goes up on the YouTubes, you can put all my links in the bottom and
well,
stuff.
they're already there. They're already there.
Oh, right
So,
on.
and just to let everyone else know, there is a link for Dread Central's YouTube channel, and then there is the link that will take you straight to all of the episodes of Chronic Horror from Dread
Fantastic.
Central's YouTube channel. So if you
Yeah.
guys haven't seen any of those episodes, they're not very long. They are very entertaining. He's got lots of guests on there, little skits, all kinds of shit, very cannabis friendly. So check it out. I implore you guys to do so. The links are in the description on YouTube and Facebook. So
You are so awesome, Joe. Thank you for the plug. That's better than anything I could have said about it.
oh, thank you.
I mean, I'm genuinely happy you enjoy it. It's like, I feel like we're still waiting to find our audience, but I think it's there. I think that once people realize it exists, that we'll get some pretty good numbers in terms of views and stuff. And also, I mean, it's like we got 8 episodes out right now, and the plan was to knock out another 4 and make that season 1. But we'd been doing them in 4-episode chunks, and we were probably going to do the next batch in April, and then pandemic. So like, I had such big plans for Chronic Horror in 2020, and 2020 is like, ha ha, you can do shit this year. So it's like, okay.
It's like that strong edible that kicks you in the butt.
Right. You think you know what's going to happen. You're like, I'm going to eat this edible and go out and walk in nature. And then it's like, no, you're going to the bathroom, going to put your pants around your ankle. You're going to spin and sweat for 3.5 hours. If you're lucky, you'll get to sleep. Right. Hey, did I warn you that I was going to be practicing my comedy routine on your show?
I don't think so. But you do you, boo.
I'm just going off the rails a little bit. Tell me more about you. What do you got going on besides any last words?
Well, I have my other show. I think we talked about this earlier. I don't know quite what to call it, a podcast, a vidcast, a show. I just call it a show. It's just a show. It's an episode, if you will. But the other show that I've been doing for about 3 years called Girls Scoring Gin. I do that every Thursday night as well on Facebook and YouTube with my host, Lauren. So yeah, I did that. And other than that, I just help people do films. I do films, I do music projects, and then I just try to talk to people like you.
Awesome. So yeah, I mean, and before the pandemic as well, excuse me, I've been living in Northern California pretty much the last 20 years straight. And I'd been planning to move back to LA, and then pandemic hit. It's like really just put all my plans on hold.
Jeez Louise. And you know what? Both places are expensive to live.
It's true. I mean, how crazy is that? Hey, is it true that the rents in the LA area are dropping? Would you even know?
That I don't know. I live about maybe an hour and a half north of LA. I live in Bakersfield.
Oh, right.
So I'm right in between Fresno and LA. So
that's kind of good because both cities have their own horror communities, yeah?
Absolutely. They do. And on top of that, I'm only about 5-ish hours from Vegas. And then I'm about
fantastic.
Yeah, and I'm about 7 hours from the Bay Area where I used to live. So I'm kind of like, for me, I'm kind of like in a good spot because
Oh
I can,
yeah.
Vegas got a lot of shit, the Bay Area, LA, Fresno. So,
Well, Casey Hansen, the homicidal homemaker, who's the chef in residence in Chronic Horror, she's from the Fresno area. So I know she's doing great things up there,
mhm.
popping between LA and Fresno all the time. So yeah, you're probably in a good spot.
Yeah, she's, by the way, she is dope as fuck. I love her creativity.
Have you had
It's
her on
so,
the show yet?
no, not yet.
If you need me to introduce you guys, I'll definitely do that because, yeah, she deserves as much publicity as she can get.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I'm
she's so
surprised
nice.
that she doesn't have more than what she does because, like I said, she's so friggin' creative and talented in what she does. She did that cake roll of the wallpaper from The Shining, and it was like,
Right.
oh, dude, like that was dope as fuck.
That's the red rum roll cake.
Yeah, the red rum roll cake. Yeah, that was cool as shit. I was like, man, now I want to do more cake rolls.
Totally. That's the homicidal homemaker on YouTube and Facebook. Check her out because she's awesome. You can also see her in Chronic Horror on
Mm-hmm.
Dread Central's YouTube channel. Check it out.
Yeah,
No more self promotions.
lies. We got more comments. We got Richard says, I really hope conventions open in September or at least one in particular. I'm sure he's talking about Texas Frightmare because that
Mm.
one actually. Have you been to Texas Frightmare yet?
Yeah, I went in 2019. It was insane. Dread Central had a table there, so I was working, and
Mm-hmm.
it was so overwhelming. I mean, just to go from my table to grab a Coke or something, I knew I
Mm-hmm.
had to like set aside like 25, 30 minutes, just to
Yeah.
navigate the crowds. But it was fantastic in terms of the energy. And the other festival in that area that's just now starting to really make waves is Cult Classic Convention in
Mm-hmm.
Bastrop. Have you heard of that one?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, we went to that in 2019 and had an absolute blast and, couldn't make it out. They're actually one of the last conventions to happen before the lockdown. And if I had known, obviously, that I didn't have to like budget for the next, 10 months, I would have been there in a heartbeat. So like hindsight's 2020, but yeah, I can't wait for conventions to come back and just to be able to meet people and congregate again. Just have a
Yeah.
really great celebration of, our community. I think our community needs it.
It does. It's definitely happening right now. Somebody keeps shaking this fucking snow globe that we call Earth.
Yeah, for real. It's like
Everywhere.
it's like first there's one thing, then there's another thing, and then there's another thing. It's things are just popping off all the time, and it's hard to just try to stay grounded.
It is. Oh my gosh. Pray it gets better. Actually, there's gonna be some conventions starting in September because I just turned in my application for the Creep It Real Expo in Santa Ana, and that one's gonna be in September.
Oh, knock on
And
wood. I mean, I'm
yeah,
hoping. You
yeah,
know, I mean, I'm not saying it's not going to happen, but
right.
I
With
mean,
the
I'm
snow
saying
the way it is right now.
that'll be fantastic if it does. And again, I mean, maybe it will happen, and I just can't picture it the way it's going to happen. It's going to be more space in the lines and people going through at different times and everyone wearing masks.
Yeah. It does sound like it would be pretty messy.
Yeah, I mean, I can see it happening. I'm a big fan of wearing the mask too, actually. I mean, it's like, it's so ironic now, when you think about like in the 90s when all of a sudden it wasn't cool to wear masks anymore. They were dangerous and you couldn't wear the pullover masks and
Or
you
the
couldn't
trench
go trick or treating. Now it's like we're being told you must wear a mask. I mean, I think people should kind of get into it. I just got some horror themed masks from Terror Threads and Full Moon Films, and I can't wait to be rocking those. So I hope people do embrace the mask and get some horror masks, and that we can continue like that.
Yeah, actually, I just got thanks to Richard Nettleton. He was very sweet and ordered me a Texas Frightmare Essential Kit.
Nice.
And so it's for like if you're gonna come to the convention, like this is your essentials kit. So you got like a t-shirt, a Texas Frightmare mask, a bottle of hand sanitizer, your own personal pen, and a thing of deodorant.
Nice. Yeah, people don't realize how essential that is for the convention experience.
Yes, and gum.
Yeah, for the breath. I see what you're saying there.
Oh my gosh. Hello, Jesse. Thank you for joining us. And hello, Dan. Thank you for joining us as well. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm curious about chronic horror because, like I said, I am an actual fan of chronic horrors.
Thank you. Yeah, ask away.
Okay, I am curious, and we have a trailer for it as well that you sent me if you want to share it.
Yeah, show them the trailer.
Okay, so I'm just curious first, was this show like your idea, or was this a collective idea, or were you procured by somebody to come be the host for this show, or?
I am so glad you asked that question. I am thrilled to be able to say that this was my idea and this was my pitch. At the same time, I could not have done it without my producers at Epic Pictures and my extremely talented director, Hank Braxton, and his wife, Ariel, who produced. It was my idea to sort of do a stoned version of Drunk History, but with horror movies. That was the pitch. Drunk History, except with marijuana instead of alcohol and horror movies instead of history. And then, Epic Pictures hooked me up with Hank, who had these more concrete ideas. And between the team, we developed chronic horror as you see it now. So like it really was a collaborative effort. For example, it was Hank's idea to have a character who would be a chef and create specific horror themed munchies. And it was my idea to get Casey specifically because I had met her at a convention. So it was a true collaborative process. But no, yeah, it was my idea. I pitched it under the working title High on Horror, which I still think is pretty good. But then when we just brainstormed other potential titles, Chronic Horror just had a ring to it that I loved. But it's my baby. It came out of my little noggin, my stoned little noggin. And it's funny because when I pitched it, I was really kind of nervous because I didn't know if, the management at Epic was going to be 420 friendly, and it's like by pitching this, I'm clearly outing myself as a stoner, which isn't really outing myself. I mean, look at me. It's like I got pulled over by a cop. He's like, "Do you have marijuana in this car?" I'm like, "Hell yeah, there's marijuana in this car." I mean, look at me. He's like, "Are you smoking while driving?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "Get on your way." But no, yeah, Chronic Horror was my idea, but it wouldn't exist without the whole team.
That's awesome. Like I said, I'm a fan. I think the show is genius, and it's very funny.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
I love it. And I love weed and I love horror movies. So it's right up my alley, bro.
Yeah. What else you want to ask?
Well, I want to show the trailer real quick.
Yeah, show them the trailer.
Okay, so, you guys ready? Okay, 1, 2, 3, go.
Surprise, mother. Chronic Horror is back.
Right at the intersection of horror fandom and cannabis culture. We're here at Arena Sin Lounge in Hollywood. Richard?
I heard something over here, man.
Indica puts you into couch.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. What the fuck are you doing?
Chronic Horror!
Let's do it. We're gonna smoke some cannabis, we're gonna eat some delicious munchies, and we're gonna watch Terrifier.
You're so sexy when you walk down my street. Yeah.
Do you think the fact that Richard and I took an edible, does it make you more receptive to the paranormals? One of the most popular, controversial.
Jesus Christ.
And you ain't seen nothing yet.
I'm so high.
No!
Be sure to watch us on YouTube. You can also watch us on the Dread app. Chronic horror for your brainstem.
Oh, I love it. I can't wait to do more. It's so fun to make. Seriously. It's just it's a
It looks like a lot of fun because if you sorry.
Take your time. I mean, it is a blast. It's the first film set I was ever, or I mean, I had been on film sets before. This is the first time I was in front of the camera, and I never set out to like have my own show. I was just going along being a horror journalist, and then I had this idea, and when they were like, well, who's going to host it? It was like, well, I'm going to host it because, I got the idea for Chronic Horror because I'm interviewing people for Dread Central, usually on the phone, and I'm always stoned while I'm talking to them, so I thought it'd be great to have a show where they're stoned talking back to me at the same time, So anyway, I'm not even sure where I was going with that thought. I'm having trouble. I got the cannabis motor mouth, short-term memory loss. But yeah, I can't wait to do this show. I remember what I was gonna say, but it was so fun. Like everyone was having a good time. Me, my guests, the people behind the camera. Everyone who was there, like every time Hank would say cut, it's like everyone would bust up laughing because everyone's like holding it in the whole time. We're like having these hijinks, and it was just a blast. And I can't wait to do it again and again and again. I think it's going to be a really good franchise if we can just keep pushing out the new episodes, and if we can, quit this quarantine thing. But I mean, maybe we'll just have to reinvent it in a different, maybe I'll just have to get a green screen or something, and we'll do it like we're doing right now, where I'll have my guests in a window.
Yeah, I mean, it fills the void.
And that's another thing. It's like, okay, now when Chronic Horror comes back, are things like sharing a joint now taboo, or are we going to smoke it through the masks? I mean, what am I going to do with my
Get the gas masks?
Our own joints? We'll have to have our own joints and our own. Hey, this is my girlfriend, Honey Bunny.
You have to have your own joint.
How are you doing, darling?
She's a contortionist and a dancer, and she's the greatest thing that ever happened to me. She's also my PR person and my personal stylist. And my public media relations coordinator.
Awesome.
I asked her
How are you doing, love?
I'm sorry, did you have a question for Honey Bunny?
No, I said, how are you doing, love? I was talking to her. I'm sorry.
Very well.
Good. Are you going crazy during all this?
I'm just starting to go crazy. I really held out for a very long time.
Well, we're lucky because we fell in love just before quarantine. So like, we're still in the honeymoon stage, and then it's like, okay, honeymoon stage, now let's lock it down. And we've been locked down in honeymoon stage, and it's going great. We haven't had a single fight, but I think we both just kind of like want to get out into that big world again. You know what I'm saying? With each other and on our own, because we're very strong, creative individuals in addition to being together and in love.
Aww. Well, hopefully the world opens up soon. We all need to have a joint together. The world needs to come together.
I guess she just wanted to come in for a split sec. But yeah, all my friends in horror making movies, if you're looking for someone to play the possessed girl who's all twisted up in the crazy pretzel, give me a call. I'll hook you up with Honey Bunny. She'll be in your movie because she can do all that crazy, scary, back-breaking stuff.
That's so cool. Oh my gosh. I love that stuff in the movies where they do all that stuff. Because I don't know. I mean, I guess does it hurt?
She says no.
No? Okay.
No. Do you want to interview her? I can pull her back. I can insist.
If she doesn't mind for like a second, because I'm really curious.
Come on, you started it.
Sorry, Oh, so when you do things like that, I mean, is it at least uncomfortable or anyway, or do you have to get used to doing that, or does it just
You
feel
have to get
natural?
used to it. It's definitely as much mental training as it is physical training. If it hurts, you should stop. But there's like a moment between something hurting and something feeling normal. And you have to shift your paradigm as your body learns these new poses. Because, like, something that you've never experienced before, it's going to feel weird no matter what, right? But you have to train yourself to not get injured, to stop before it hurts, and just keep shifting the paradigm of like what you can handle. It does get you high though, because some things restrict your oxygen and control the blood flow to your nervous system in ways that get you like high, like sound weird, and it's just like another lotus chasing activity.
That's crazy. But that's cool, crazy.
It's nice. It's nice to get high for a living,
Right.
which I guess I do with chronic horror, and Honey Bunny does with contortion. She gets high by contorting and being paid hundreds of dollars to do so.
That's pretty cool. Have you been able to do that like your whole life, or did you just train yourself to be able to do that? Like, were you lucky to be able to train yourself to do that?
When I was 30, I met a contortionist who invited me to come train at their circus. And so I was a dancer and a performer before that, but the techniques and the like Mongolian cultural traditions that I learned were totally I'd never seen before, let alone tried. And so it was throughout this like intense 2-year period of physical training that I learned how to do all that stuff.
Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah, she like went to college for it. She's legit. She's the real deal.
Dang.
Yeah, if I had known she was going to be interviewed as well, I would have hooked you up with some video of her, because I mean, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable, and she makes it look easy. So, guys and women who are directing their horror movies with the possessed lady or the creature lady who bends in improbable places, give me a call, because I know someone who might be the star you're looking for.
Aww.
So yeah, quarantine's been pretty good for me
Good.
because of people like that, because of interactions like that. So that's how I've been staying sane.
That's good though, because I hear a lot of people are getting like separate apartments now.
Right? That like divorce lawyers are being like called off the hook. I also got these critters keep me sane.
Aww.
Or at least distracted. Sometimes they drive me insane. I got this guy, Rocky, and I got another guy, Killer, who's like the quintessential stoner dog. You won't even believe it. Do you want to meet Killer?
Sure.
I mean, we'll have to wait for him to come out. So we'll talk amongst ourselves in the meantime. But
Okay.
I'm getting his agent is getting him prepped for camera. So do you have any pets, or have you been quarantined alone, or what?
No, my boyfriend and I live together, so it's us.
Yeah.
And
Are
we
you
have
guys hanging in?
Oh yeah, so we get along. Actually, it's been better since we've been in quarantine, because we work different schedules, and I work a lot of days, so we don't see each other very much. But since everything closed, like, we see each other all the time, and we're just happy. So
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's good. It's good to be in a healthy relationship. It's good to have work. Like, I think the fact that I have, had my daily job at Dread Central has really kept me from feeling, some of the more pertinent anxieties that people are feeling because of the pandemic, because of isolation. I mean, thank God I'm employed. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder how many like actual like new internet jobs there are out now that are just they're like going to stay for good. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, now that people figured out how to work from home, how do you get them back to the office? Are they going to be like, nah, I like doing this with my pants off?
I know, like, even like when my God.
Yeah, this is Killer, short for Lady Killer. What's up,
Oh.
friend? He's like the best quintessential stoner dog because he is so chill.
Oh my gosh. Can you hold him up a little more? I can't see.
Yeah,
I like fur babies.
there we go.
Oh. Oh my
There's nobody.
gosh.
Yeah,
Oh.
he's pretty chill.
Oh,
Like to kind of just, frame him and, like a stuffed animal.
Did you guys do anything crazy with your pets in the beginning of the quarantine?
Did we do anything crazy with them?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? Like dress them up or?
Yeah, like anything just weird?
Yes. We put Easter bunny ears on them, I confess.
Okay.
I have pictures. If I had known, that it was going to come up, probably would have included them.
Well, I know people were doing like weird things. My boyfriend did some weird shit during this quarantine. And I was actually kind of concerned that our neighbor was going to call animal control on us. So I don't know. My boyfriend oh my God, it was when Tiger King came out and quarantine started and we watched it.
Wasn't that awesome?
Yeah, it was horribly awesome, but it really was.
Like the best entertainment experience of 2020 so far, hands down.
Yeah. Well, we have a 17-pound cat, so he's a biggin. And
yeah, he is.
He's not like he's fat. He's solid, and he's big. He's long, and so he got this great idea because I have allergies, but I love my fur animals, my fur babies. I can't shoo them away. I just take a pill. But he was trying to be helpful at this point, I guess. I'm a little stoned, so I'm really trying to articulate this properly. But anyway, he tried to shave the cat to look like a fucking lion, and he doesn't smoke weed, so
maybe he should.
Yeah, that's something I threw out to him at one point.
Yeah, I'm the puppy king with my dogs surrounding me in my lair.
Is that all you have? Is just 2 dogs? Or do you guys have cats?
Yep, that's it. I had a cat for 19 years and she just passed in January.
Aww.
I got her when she was a kitten and she was like my consummate, not soulmate, but comrade. She had been in my life for 19 years.
Yeah, that's a long ass time for a cat.
Yeah. Hey, let me ask you something, Joe. Do you think your viewers are going to be all pissed off? They're going to be like, we came to talk about horror and to see a show about horror, and all this guy did was talk about his dogs and his girlfriend and smoke a lot of weed.
No, because I'm pretty well known for going off on tangents, but I apologize if you would like to get back to horror.
No. I mean, I'm apologizing to you. I'm like, what have I done to this poor woman's show with an established format? I watched, you're talking to other guests about movies and effects and props and this, and you're talking to me about, my kitty.
No, I mean, like I said earlier, I want people to get to know the people who are in this industry and doing this art and stuff. So
right on.
Now people know that you love dogs and you
I do. I love animals. In general, I love animals more than people, except for Honey Bunny and you and a select few others. Animals are awesome.
Yeah, and they got to learn about the homicidal homemaker. I can't even fucking talk right now.
Yeah, homicidal homemaker. I mean, she's going to. I mean, she is blowing up. That's the crazy thing. It's like. So glad to be doing a show that involves her. She is amazing, and Dread Central's doing great things. It's a crazy time for horror websites trying to maintain some semblance of business as usual. Give people their daily fix of horror, even when we're going through unprecedented times. But I got a great team at Dread Central. In addition to the daily news, you got some great editorials. We have some amazing contributing writers. So, even if you're not into chronic horror, which I don't understand why you wouldn't be, you should be touching base with Dread Central. They have a legacy that goes back over 15 years, long before I even arrived. And, I came in and I started at the bottom, and one of the main things I try to do every single day is maintain the legacy of the site, make sure that I keep the Dread Central brand on point. It's so important to me. So more than chronic horror, I hope you guys are checking out Dread Central, because that's really what I am on a day-to-day thing. That's really how I keep my finger on the pulse of the horror world, and how I feel a part of the community. So yeah, as much as we talk about chronic horror, Dread Central is my day gig, and it's really a much bigger, more important entity. And I can't say enough great things about it, and how happy I am to be part of that team.
Oh, well, speaking about you and horror and content, would now be a good time to show the Cannibal Comedian trailer?
Yeah, definitely show that, because like I said, I never set out to be in front of the camera, but you never know where life takes you. Yeah, show this, and then we can talk a little bit about it.
Okay, well, here's a movie. The link, I think I put the link. Don't hold me on that in the descriptions. If not, I'll put it later. But there'll be a link you can get to. It's a Vimeo video. This is just the trailer, though.
Just the trailer.
I'm going to shut up. Here we go.
All right.
What you doing way out here, a long way from home, are we?
I've got no problem with my victims. But up there, the table is turned. I'm getting hungry.
That's Cannibal Comedian.
Okay.
Written and directed by Sean Hayes. He did Big Top Evil in 2019. Hopefully it'll see a release sometime in 2020. I hope you noticed a little cameo from yours truly. I was only on set for a day. It's a very small part, but it was kind of a tailor-made situation, and it's my first on-screen kill. So it's very exciting for me to, see this movie being put together. And I hope it's something people can look forward to in 2020. So, Google Cannibal Comedian and follow it on the Facebook, and see more of me and a great cast in a film by Sean Hayes.
It looks like it's going to be good. I can't wait.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a good time.
Oh, we got more comments, sir.
All right.
Frankie says, "Sorry, I'm late. That's the Vegas life." Frankie, I will see you and Miguel tomorrow in El Vegas. Let's see. Lance says, "Circus of the Dead re-release through Dread will be huge. Circus of the Dead is what's up."
Yes, more on that later. ... Big announcement coming. ...
Oh, uh-oh.
No, that's cool.
Okay.
I mean, let's make it kind of like a soft rollout where that announcement's concerned.
Okay, to be continued. Lance also says, "They killed my dad." No.
Yeah, he's talking about the Cannibal Comedian. Lance is great. I was talking earlier about the Cult Classic Convention. Sometimes the people you meet at these conventions become people who you are proud to call your friends. And that's part of the reason why I can't wait for the pandemic to subside. I love you, Lance. Man, you're fucking awesome. And Texas has such a wonderful, vibrant horror community. And I can't wait to see you guys soon.
Yeah, Lance is pretty cool. He's called them pineapple freezes.
Yeah, he's been posting those things on Facebook all over. What's the secret ingredient, Crack? Taco
Something.
Bell pineapple smoothie crack. Lance has 5 of these a day and posts about it on Facebook incessantly.
And you know what though? I'm not mad at him because when those fucking tiny tacos at Jack in the Box came out, like, dude, it was bad. It was bad. I was sometimes like, because I was a bartender for the past 3 years, so I would have people like, oh, hey, are you hungry? Brought you some tiny tacos. Like 20 minutes later, somebody else walks in the door. Hey, Joe, you hungry? Brought you some tiny tacos. Oh, and went to Taco Bell and got you nacho cheese to dip them in. I'm like, oh my God.
I just found out those existed last night. I just found out tiny tacos were a thing in a commercial last night, and I was like, "Oh my God, those look amazing!" They're putting them in these little like Chinese food containers with the like stuffed with the sauces all over it. Man,
I haven't had it with the sauce and stuff because that shit gets all mushy and soggy, and they put the lettuce and it gets hot in there. I just get the plain ones.
Yeah, and then you just like stir it up so it becomes like mush in there, you know?
It's like a casserole in a little bowl.
Yes, yes. Jack in the Box, please send us money for plugging your wonderful. You can use this in your commercials as soon as the check arrives. Thank you.
Right? Dude, they need to do something about them munchie meals.
All right.
I'm sorry. Like I said, I was a bartender, so it's like I won't get off work till like 3 a.m. sometimes, and I don't want to make food when I get home. I'm tired, so Jack in the Box is always freaking open. Yeah. So it's like, oh, I'll get the munch meal.
How great is it that dispensaries deliver and that dispensaries are considered essential businesses even during the quarantine? I hope that the dispensaries have been doing well, and I hope that people who have been in self-quarantine maybe have taken some time to try a little marijuana. Maybe you wouldn't have before, but you know what? It's legal. And you don't have anything to do, like they said in the movie Friday, because every day is Friday. So you don't have anything to do. So try it. Go online, find a local dispensary, peruse their menu. You can, in a lot of cases, you can pay with credit card, and then they bring it right to your house. Keep a respectful distance. And why wouldn't you? That's another thing that I think has helped me through this quarantine immensely.
Maybe that's helped a lot of families and relationships stay together too.
Maybe, except the ones who weren't really on a solid foundation to begin with, and now they're like, "Oh, this was a bad idea," and now they're stuck and they can't stand each other.
It's like, you were cute on Instagram, but I don't like you in real life.
Well, I mean, it is kind of like a make it or break it thing, It's like if you can survive quarantine intact, you're solid. You're good. You got this, because this is a once in a lifetime situation. If you can keep your cool through this entire thing and stay positive and maintain the love, then you've really got something solid. So treasure it. Treasure it, people.
Everybody smoke a joint and treasure it.
Please do. Please do.
Richard said tiny tacos are tiny life.
I'm gonna have to get me some.
Right? That sounds so good. My boyfriend, because there's Taco Bell and Jack in the Box right across the street from each other. So my boyfriend's like, like I said, he doesn't smoke weed, but he takes into consideration that I am a stoner. So he's like, we're gonna experiment. So we go to like Taco Bell, and he like gets a bunch of the nacho cheese and then my pineapple freeze. Thank you, Lance. And then he drives across the street to get me tiny tacos. He's like, because we've asked Jack in the Box for cheese, and it's like this solidified cheese with like separated soy oil and shit. Like, it's totally gross. So, but yeah, if you've got a Taco, I'm stoned. I'm sorry.
No,
anyway,
it's all right. I mean, Taco Bell, send us money too.
Yeah,
Taco Bell,
or
please. Or what?
Tacos.
Tacos, yeah, send us tacos. You can pay us in Taco Bell can pay us in Jack in the Box mini tacos, and Jack in the Box can pay us in money, and it'll all work out.
And we'll have Uber Eats deliver it, so we don't have to leave.
Exactly.
Nice. Well, sir, we are at the pretty much the end of this.
I really hope I don't like trash your ratings, that I didn't hijack your show.
No, this is great.
Oh man, I mean, well, that's the thing, when you do something live and add the X factor of marijuana, you never know how the entertainment will unfold. This has been a true experiment, an experiment in entertainment.
Yes, but everybody seems to have enjoyed it, so I
I
think
hope so.
we're good.
I hope so.
Yeah.
And for your regular viewers who are like, who the hell is this guy? And why did she give him the time? I'm sorry. She'll get back to quality guests on her next show. I apologize. I apologize.
Oh my gosh. Well, well, you guys need to check out Dread Central's Chronic Horror. The show, like I said earlier, it's really funny. It's creative. It's well put together. There's a lot going on. You guys will enjoy it. I promise. The links are in the description for Dread Central's YouTube channel. And then below it should be like the playlist of all of the episodes of Chronic Horror via Dread Central's YouTube channel. So you can click on either one of those and check it out. You guys are going to love it. I promise.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate you being on, and your puppies and your ladies, your honey bunnies.
Yeah,
So,
my little menagerie, my little cult.
I love it, and I really appreciate you guys being on. And you guys be safe and take it easy up there. I know it's
You, Joe. You are so awesome. Thanks for having me on. I love everything you do, and let's keep in closer touch now. Hit me up on all the social medias.
for sure, absolutely. Well, do you have any last words, sir?
No, just that I love your show, and it's been an honor for me to be here. Thank you so much.
Oh, it was an honor for you to be on here. Honor for me to have you on here.
Thank you.
I need to drink some water.
Yeah.
All right.
Stoner.
Can I sit here? It feels safe. All right, you guys. Good night. I will see you guys on Monday. Bye.
Good night.